sunshine as well. The weather should be okay.
Yeah, hopefully. There's about a 20% chance of rain, they are saying, but we'll ignore that, and hopefully everything will be fine. It was certainly warm out there. We were down for the toss not so long ago, Dan.
We were, yeah, we were, and the news this morning is that Australia have won the toss and they have elected to bat. So Julie Neumann, who is the captain of Australia, a B2 category player, she has won the toss and she has decided to bat. India probably would have batted. We spoke to the Indian skipper, Varsha, and she said she would have batted, but she's not that unhappy about being in the field either. So, what would you have done, Sam? What would you have done if you'd have won the toss?
Runs on the board in a final. I can see why Julie of Australia, what a weird title for her. It sounds very formal. I can see why she did it, because runs on the board in a final. You know, India have set a couple of imposing totals in this competition so far. They've been the dominant side, really, as far as the women are concerned. 217 they made against England on Thursday, 245 against Australia on Wednesday. I mean, that game will probably live long in the memory of the Australians, but not for particularly good reasons. India defeating them by 163 runs on Wednesday. These two sides, alongside England as well, it was the first ever outing for the England women's blind side here at these World Blind Games. A group of four, each played each other twice. India won all 4 games. England and Australia, well, they shared the honours, beat each other once each. Australia qualifying for today's final on net run rate.
Yeah, there are a couple of nuances to the rules as well, your normal game, so we'll cover those as they occur during the day. But we welcome, in fact, this is the national anthems. Let's have a listen to Advance Australia Fair.
Seems to be going now.
Fantastic there. Fantastic. Proud moment for these guys. Is Jana Gana Mana. Wonderful moment there for these guys in the final of the T20. My name's Dan Whiting, I'm joined by Sam Dalling. This is Australia versus India for the gold medal here live from Edgbaston. We're on the stream. It's a really great moment for everyone involved in disability cricket. It really is. It's a fantastic moment and they all deserve their place here. Warm welcome to you if you're listening in from down under. Warm welcome to you if you're listening in from India as well, or any other part of the world. We're going to make you welcome all day, and we're going to have some fantastic cricket at this iconic venue. Sam, I see you've been doing a little bit of research there.
I'm just having a look
Just
through
having a little cheeky look
through the scores, making sure I've got the teams in front of me. We are imminent now, 5 or 6 minutes away from the start. Look, Australia, it's a tall order for them today. India, the dominant side in the world competition from a women's perspective. They've been a little bit light on runs. I was reminding myself of their scores. I mean, their leading scorer in the tournament so far is Courtney Lewis, and she's just got the 58 runs, a best of 43 unbeaten. So they look to be, well, they'll need some runs from her. Judy Newman, wicketkeeper batter, best of 17. Ashley Malone, she's got a 20-odd. Christine Casey as well, she's got 24. So they'll probably need that to all come together, really, if they're to have a chance of toppling this India side, who have just been absolutely fantastic. They're leading wicket taker Ravani has 3 wickets, but it's a final. Anything can happen, Dan. It's pressure on the day. It's a big occasion. You're going to run us through the teams?
Yeah, let's start with Australia. It's Burkow, Casey, Neumann, who's the skipper, Lewis, who Sam was just talking about there, Malone, Courtney Webbeck, who is the vice captain here, Adeline Rowe, McKenna, Whelan, Parry, Ferris. India are Varsha, Ravani, Das, Tudu, Nilapa, Hansda, Davis, Deepika, Saran, Patel and Satyavathi. Umpires today are Mr. Ogborn and Aravind, and the scorers are Paul Topless and C.L. Hughes. Umpires just making their way out to the middle. So it looks like Aravind is going to take the city end, and Ogborn will take the pavilion end here at Edgbaston. A few Australians down in the Hollies. You don't often find them in the Hollies when they're here for a test match, do you?
No, it's somewhat calmer over there than I suspect it was the last time Australia visited this ground.
It's the calmest I've ever seen it. It really is.
It's a vast stand, isn't it? I think it's hard to appreciate unless you actually hear the depth of it. And then there's just that little overhang keeps the noise in. But it's a decent crowd in. Hopefully a few more trickle in as the day comes.
Day rolls on, yeah, I think it will. I think the there's a little bit of cloud in the air. There's a few clouds building up over the city, but I think we're going to be okay. My resident meteorologist Sam Dalling thinks we're going to be okay today.
Well, you're relying on about fourth-hand information there, Dan. But yeah, I'm always optimistic.
Google is our friend.
Yes, it always depends on which forecast you can. This time of day, I remember being here for T20 finals day in the Vitality Blast, and everyone spent their whole time looking at weather forecasts, waiting for the reserve day, and actually barely a drop came. So I've learned in the last couple of years not to rely too heavily on forecasts.
There speaks a Somerset fan already getting the T20 Blast win straight into the commentary within 15 minutes of being on air. But why not? Why not? The lovely venue here. We're looking across over the what used to be called the press stand here. The old score box on our right with the weather vane, which is the famous Warwickshire Bear, and looking across towards the city here. So a reminder, Australia have won the toss. Julie Neumann has won the toss and she elected to bat.
Yeah, and I'm just having a look, peering down to see who I can see. I can see young Bo Bacall has a bat in hand with number 3 on her back, just 14 years old. What a day for her. So yeah, I don't think I ever achieved anything of this kind of stature in my life. And I'm 20 years older than Bo Bacall. She's 14 and she's already out there playing.
I was doing a paper round, I think, when I was 14 years old.
Batters on their way out into the middle. So for those of you not familiar with blind cricket, there's 3 different categories of player: B1, B2 and B3. B1 being total loss of sight. You have to, the way the batting order has to work down is basically you have to have 1 player from each category in a kind of group of 3. So how best to explain it? Batters 1, 2 and 3, there has to be 1 from each category, same in 4, 5, 6 and so on and so forth further down.
And viewers will notice there's a line halfway down the pitch. What's that about, Sam?
Well, when the bowlers are bowling, the ball has to pitch either side of that line, essentially. What we've got, so for any viewers that have watched some domestic blind cricket, the ball is a slightly larger, almost mini size 3 football. Here we've got a plastic ball that's a bit smaller, not much bigger than a cricket ball, and it has pieces of metal inside it, so it jangles, and that's how the players tend to pick it up. So we'll see a lot of sweep shots, a lot of scoring shots, square of the wicket. Players in category B1, their runs count double, everyone else is scored as per other forms of cricket. There is an inner circle. 20 overs aside here, 6 over power play, so standard T20 from that perspective, just a couple of fielders outside that circle.
So we like to see a lot of shots square of the wicket, aren't we? And you'd probably want your better fielders in sort of that area, wouldn't you, around there?
Yeah, I think so. That's where your sweepers tend to be.
Reminder, Australia's scores so far been 130 for 3 off 15.1, chasing against England, 59 for 6 off 20, 100 for 7 off 20 chasing. That's against England as well, so I think sort of we'll see the score. You know, I think we're looking at about sort of 120 to 140, something like that.
I think Australia will be delighted with that.
Do you think so?
Dan, yeah. Julie Neumann was confident. It was no hesitation, was it? She was straight away as soon as that coin came down. The coin actually ended up, I've never seen a coin roll so far in the coin toss. The umpire was shouting the result of the coin toss from about 20 metres away.
It was halfway to Worcester, I think, wasn't it? By the time they actually fetched it. Anyway, we're going to get underway here, and it is going to be Deepika TC, B3 category player, with 999 on the back of the jersey. Here from the pavilion end. Just defended there.
The way it works, for anyone who's new to the game, the bowler will signify they're ready. They'll call that they are ready. The batter will then acknowledge that, and then the bowler must again shout play when they release the ball.
Here's Deepika in past the umpire. Again, just defended. Cautious start this.
Casey and Bacall, the 14-year-old, opening the batting. It's Casey on strike, Christine Casey.
Just bobbled over the bat. It's a no ball as well.
Casey is a category B1 player, so she's got a runner with her. You can just see just out of shot on the screen.
just defended again. It's amazing that Bacau, 14 years old. That's down the leg side. He's down there.
Yeah, just about gets away with that one, not being a wide.
Topeka in. Casey can't get that one away. One for none at the moment, the Australians. Edgbaston bathed in sunshine. Looks a picture, doesn't it? That pitch is, that outfield is absolutely gorgeous as well, isn't it? We were out there doing the toss earlier. As Topeka comes in, that's down the leg side. It's turned around the corner. Can't get that away. There's an extra ball in the over due to the no ball earlier.
Yeah, yet to pick up a wicket in the tournament. Topeka.
Here she is. That's the end of the first over. Australia 2 for none. Yeah, the outfield is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Well, we were out there earlier, and it just, I mean, there's just no sort of divots in there at all, are there? You know, it's very different from club cricket, and it's an absolute honour even just to be out there in the middle, wasn't it? It really was.
Yeah, it was absolutely lovely. So just the 2 no balls off that over then. Change of ends, and Bacau is going to come on to strike for the first time in this final. She's a category 2 player, so they have the option, B2 players, of asking for a runner. She's opted not to. You can't change mid-innings, so you have to decide at the outset. And we are going to have Seren to bowl. Now is reverse sweeping. Can only find Topeka in short third. Good bit of work there. Involved heavily in the game already. Topeka bowling the opening over. Fielding at short third. Seren and ever present in this India side during the tournament. It's her 5th game. First runs off the bat. Nice looking sweep shot from Bo Bacau. Draws a hearty cheer from the Australian fans over in the Hollies again, and not a noise you'll hear that often. Dan Whiting, Australians cheering in the Hollies stand.
No, you don't often get Australians in the Hollies stand, let alone cheering.
First runs off the bat in this final. 14-year-old Bo Bacau as Jane Powell sneaks into the back of the box.
We've been joined by Jane.
What were you doing at 14, Dan? Playing in a world final, perchance?
Oh, I think I was doing a paper round, Sam, actually. Yes.
Another dot ball there. This is a good start from India. Heavy favourites, one would imagine. 4 wins from 4 in the group stages.
Yep. We'll have to get Jane on air at some point. In fact, if you want to join us between sort of 5 and 10 overs.
Green in, attempted sweep shot. Peel for leg before wicket. The Indians quite liked it. Umpire, though, shakes his shakes his head. The Australians in the Hollies breathe a sigh of release, as does Christine Casey. She's still there. 5 on her back, yet to get off the mark. She's been tied down a little bit here early on. Waits for that one. just joining us for this World Blind Games Women's Final, Australia versus India. Julie Newman winning the toss and electing to bat, which is why Casey and Bacau are out there. Casey sweeping, call through for a run. It's going to be tight. Gets through though. Off the mark. Casey, and another huge roar from the Australians in the Holly stand. Picks up a couple there. Category B1 players score double in this game. Casey moves on to 2. She's off the mark and she keeps the strike. End of the second over, 5 without loss, Australia, Dan.
Yeah, Saran bowling a nice tight over there to add to the first one from Deepika. Cow, I mean, it's just amazing. 14 years old and playing in a world final. It really is. It's just, it's mind blowing. It really is. I think it's fantastic. It's fantastic for the game. It's fantastic for her, and her family should be very proud of her. First time of, yeah, we're going to have Varsha, the skipper's going to come on. Minimal approach to the stumps. Accurate stuff though. Casey can't get it away. This one's down the leg side. Oh, there could be a mix up here. No, they've got through. Thought there was a little bit of indecision there on the running, but
yeah, proved a good call from Bacau. So Casey doubles her score. She moves on to 4. Lots of experience, Christine Casey. Has been to a World T20 tournament before, actually. Was the one female representative in the Australian men's World T20 World Cup back in 2017.
Who won that? India? That's going to be a wide. Indian skipper Varsha just straying down the leg side there. Wonderful view we've got from up here. We're perched high above the pavilion looking out over Birmingham, the city of Birmingham. She
picked up the line through the sound there early, but Cal left that one alone. To answer your question, Dan, yeah, India have won the 3 T20 World Cups so far in the men's format. India-Pakistan has been the final twice. We've got that.
Julie Neumann winning the toss, electing to bat this morning. She said with the biggest coin I've ever seen. That's down the leg side. That's going to be another wide. She's just needing to get her lines right here.
Yeah, she's bowled a few of those this tournament. 11 coming into the game. Varsha picked up the 1 wicket, averaging 14. If you take the wides out of the equation, her economy rate is exceptional.
That's a good shot. That's down the leg side. Well fielded. As we said earlier, you'll see lots of sweeps, reverse sweeps in this. Tell us about the black bit on the stump, Sam. What's all that about?
I can tell you, indeed, that is for the B1 category players like Casey, who's on strike now, crouching early.
Christine Casey about to face. That's down the leg side there from Varsha.
So the wicketkeeper and bowler will have a chat to each other and work out the line they want to bowl. So we just saw them getting ready, those calls going back and forth between bowler, signify they're ready, batter responds, and then the bowler has to call the ball being in play. Umpires are looking out for it as well. They don't, there's a bit of gamesmanship can sometimes go on, calling too early, calling too late, so umpires crack down on that. The black line is where B1 players can't be, so 8 inches off the ground. Bowler B1 players can't be bowled directly higher than that line. No bails in this form of the game.
That's down the leg side. That one's not given us a wide.
There are bails on the stumps, but they are affixed
Okay.
to them. Just get out of this over, I think.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, just needs to complete the over. She's gone for 9 off 4 balls so far from the over. And Australia they'll be pleased with this start. It's played into the leg side. There could be a overthrow here. No, they decide not to run. Never wise to run on an overthrow, is it, Sam? Never wise to run on a misfield either.
No, and it was Courtney Webeck who is out there running for Christine Casey, who moves on to 6 with that stroke and keeps the strike at the end of the day to 16 without loss. I think she made the wise decision there. She had to run her bat in just to make sure that there'd been an accurate throw. She might have been in a little bit of trouble, so there was no chance of a second really. It's Casey 5 on her back.
I'm going to do one more over. I'm going to hand over to Jane Powell, who can tell us all about the World Blind Games, tell us all about disability cricket, tell us all about her. Oh, she's got a new role since last time I interviewed her, this time last year as well, so she can tell us all about that.
She's everywhere. I don't think she's she might not be here after 5 overs. She's never in the same place.
She's got a finger in many pies, isn't she, Jane?
It's brilliant. She's, I tell you what, I hope her car is sturdily built. A change of bowling then for India, 16 without loss. You're just joining us. It's the World Blind Games women's final here at Edgbaston.
Fula Saran is going to come in.
Australia out there batting. Saran, as Dan was saying, category B1?
B3.
B3 player. She's in and she bowls. Casey pushes it into the offside, but fielder's in quickly. No chance of a run there.
It's Ravani, that's why.
With the scoreboard. Just
the scoreboard through us.
I thought with the helmet on, V1 player Ravani. V1 players have to bowl 40% of the overs. I think that's going to be a wide, yeah. Just snuck outside of Casey's bat.
Yeah. Valasanini, Ravani.
Pushing it into the offside again, that ring of 3 Indian fielders. Still inside the power play, first 6 overs. The fielding restrictions, just 2 outside the circle. Ravani, India's go-to bowler wickets-wise, 3 wickets in the tournament so far. Steadies herself. Swept into the leg side. It's a lovely little shot from Casey. They're going to come through though. It's going to have to be sharp here. I think it's going to be a run out. Yes, it is. They came back for a second. India have their first wicket. It was a brilliant bit of fielding in the deep. So Casey I think, has to go. She will wander off. A good contribution from the opener, but she has to go for just 6. Australia 17 for 1. Casey is run out. The bowling change works. Not Ravani herself picking up.
Yeah, but Cal a little bit quicker there, wasn't she? The folly of youth. So this is going to bring to the wicket.
I think it is.
Courtney Lewis. Oh, it's Julie Neumann.
Julie Neumann, number
Julie
2.
Neumann.
It confused me, Dan. It confused me. Julie Neumann,
I thought he had a 12 there.
the skipper. Proud moment for her, captaining Australia in a world final. I'm sure her 9 children will be watching on with a lot of pride as well. Julie, what a moment. She's straight in and on strike. Julie. It's off the mark straight away. They choose not to take a run. Perhaps slightly more cautious given the run out off the previous ball. It's a nice strike of the ball from Julie Neumann. Still yet to see Courtney Lewis, Australia's leading scorer in the tournament so far. Here's Ravani, India's leading wicket taker. That one straight, and again driving through mid-on. This time they do take a single. Is off the mark. 20 for 1 Australia.
Yeah, Julie experienced vision loss 15 years ago. It was with retinitis pigmentosa. And she's been playing blind cricket ever since.
Also a wicketkeeper, so bats in the top 3 and keeps. Busy time for Julie as Cal is sweeping into the leg side. Going to pick up a single.
Don't take the second one there.
One's bitten and all that, Dan.
Having lost Casey earlier, going for a second.
Cal going along nicely. A runner ball. She's got 5 from 5. Australia are 21 for 1. And Jane Powell is going to come in alongside me. We've got to grab Jane while we can. No doubt she'll be somewhere else this afternoon. Is it morning, Jane? How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you, and good morning to everybody who is listening in on the World Dartline Games Women's Final.
What a fantastic occasion, eh?
Yeah,
Here at
amazing, isn't
Edgbaston.
it? You know, great to see that cricket is a game for everyone. And you know, that last over from a B1, if you don't bowl the number of overs, then they credit 10 runs for a B1 person. So anything under 10 from a B1 is a really good over. So an exceptionally good over, the last one that we just saw.
Now the change of bowling looks like to do is in to the attack. Non-striker just being switched around. She's going to come, I think she might be left arm. So it is left arm over the wicket. First time we've seen a left-hander.
And what they have to do is they have to say what their run-up is, so that the umpire will tell the batter it's 2 steps or 1 step, and then they have to say play as they release it.
Exactly, as we look, so it's going to be right arm round as Cal takes single. Yeah, the umpires are quite hot on that. There's a bit, occasionally some people might say it a little bit late or a little bit early.
Yes, they should say play as soon as they release the ball, but there is a little bit of gamesmanship at times where you just delay it slightly depending on whether you're a fast bowler or a slower bowler. And the ball has got ball bearings in, so sometimes you'll see it on the screen where it will just veer off, you know, almost like in swing or away swing, depending on where the ball bearings are landing. But that was a wide bowled there.
And the ball in international cricket is slightly different to the one they use in the domestic game, isn't it?
Yeah, very different. So in the domestic game, then they use a size 3 football. Whereas in the international game, then we're using a hard plastic with ball bearings in it, and cricket ball size.
To do around the wicket then to the Aussie skipper Neumann, keeper and bowler just deciding where they're going to bowl. As Neumann is sweeping, but it's straight out of field. A brilliant bit of work there
Yeah, and the Indian ladies are very experienced compared to the Australian team and the England team, who were very raw in experience. But in fact, Australia and England had one win each against each other, so Australia qualified through net run rate into this final. So they'll be up against it in this game because of the experience of the Indians.
That's a beautiful shot from Neumann. Cover drive, just lent into that one. Picks up a single. They think about a second, decide not to. I think in the end it was a decent decision. So it might have been there had they gone early. Lovely shot though from Julie Neumann. Yeah, talk to us a bit about the England side. So it was a three-team group, wasn't it? They played each other twice. India were the dominant side. They had some huge scores.
Yeah.
Maybe Australia had that in mind when they elected to bat first.
Yeah, I think that probably was on their mind. You know, they've scored 280 plus in previous games in this tournament. So that's probably where the experience of India comes into play.
That's another wide there from Tudu. Australia going along nicely here. Tip the scoreboard up 25-1. Yeah, and it was the first ever outing for the England women's
first
team.
time
How
that
wonderful.
we've had a England ECB, England and Wales Cricket Board women's team, and you know, they did well to win one game. You know, it was like, wow, that was fantastic. So it's a start of the journey, and if anybody's listening and they know of anybody who has a visual impairment, then, you know, please contact your county board, because we'd love to identify a number of more females and males who would like to play cricket.
Gal coming through for a single. She's ticking along nicely at a runner ball. Well, it's disability cricket is on a trajectory, Jane, and it's only going one way at the moment. There's Disability Premier League that you've been involved in.
Yes, and that'll be on air tomorrow, I believe. So if anybody wants to see a Pan Disability League tomorrow, then that will be live from Valley End Cricket Club.
Here at Edgbaston, Australia versus India. We'll get some bat on that, Newman. She's unlucky there. Wicketkeeper actually did very, very well to read where that one was going to go. She heard the ball bearings and it's slanting down the leg side, which a few deliveries have done from this end. A little bit of a bat on it from Julie Neumann.
And the difference between the Indians and the Australians and English players is that they hit the ball hard, and they not only hit the ball hard, they hit it 360 degrees. So they don't often just employ the sweep shot, and there we see a lovely drive, you know, and that's exactly the style that we've got to transfer to, where we start to hit the ball harder and look for the gaps and try and pierce the field.
Yeah, Julie Neumann unlucky with that one. She's played a couple of those nice sweep drives through the cover. She picked up a single earlier on in the over, doesn't get one there, so 26-1 Sam Dalling alongside Jane Powell. One day maybe, Jane, a little bit. I did read a little thing about plans of having some blind competitors in the DPL. It'll be a slightly separate
yes, that's what
competition.
definitely on our long-term plan, is to have a best against best, you know, north against south, whatever you want to call it. We haven't actually formulated it yet, but we're taking that there. It looks like there may be an injury here as the umpire escorts one of the Indian girls off the field.
Yes, substitute fielder in the B1 category by the looks of things. So Priya is going to come on. She just takes the glasses, which for B1 players have to cover the eyes and the eye socket, and they actually have to remain on for the entire time they're out there. They can only take them off with the umpire's permission. B1 either wholly blind or...
And one of the fielders helping her to get into position by clapping so that she knows where she's going to field. Places her there and then runs round to mid-off to take up her own position.
It's quite wonderful to see. Ravani then, who's already bowled one over 0 for 5, but the 1 wicket to fall for the Australians, came in that last over, a run out. Ravani is in to Bakal, who's reverse sweeping but can't quite get that one away. She remains on 27, on 7, 26 for 1. Ravani, a category B1 player, it's her second over. Minimum of 8 bowlers. 8 overs must be bowled by B1 players from the 20. Maximum 4 overs per bowler. And we're in to the 6th over, so the final over of the power play. And Macau is sweeping and she's pierced the infield. They'll come back for... No, they won't. They stick with one. They thought about two.
Yeah, there probably was two there, but you know, it's easy for us to see.
Yes.
To see it from this elevated position, but it's not always straightforward, and that's one of the tough asks in cricket for the VI players, because some may have tunnel vision and be able to see it if it's literally in a pinprick further down the ground. Some won't see it at all, and then others may see it, but it could be wobbling and it could be indifferent. So often better, especially against the Indians, they've affected quite a number of run-outs in this tournament, so it's probably safer to say no rather than a risky second.
Particularly in a final. You can take risk a little bit later on as it comes towards the end of the innings, but I think Australia just want to keep it steady for now, and they've had a steady start. 27 for 1. Julie Neumann gets into position. Doesn't quite get enough on it. There's a chance to run out
here.
And it's going to be just home. I thought it might have been the second Australian wicket. Macau called her skipper through. Her skipper was probably right to say no. And she just about scrambled back, almost completed a couple herself. Macau, 14-year-old, very sharp, very quick and very eager.
And judging those runs is so difficult for them, so difficult. And that's where the experience of Neumann really pays off for the Australians at this stage, as she reverse sweeps it, being chased down by the Indian fielders, and there's just the one run.
Beautiful stroke that from Neumann. So tell us a little bit, Jane, about how you came to select an England women's side. If it's brand new, presumably they kind of came together.
So there would have been individuals playing within the county game, so they play mixed in the county game. So there'll be not one or two women playing in them, and so we identified them from that to then come together for to play hardball. So it's not dissimilar to the mainstream cricket where we have softball and hardball. So they'll have been playing with the size 3 football type ball, and then from the group that were identified, we then had a few training sessions and picked out the 15 that met the criteria and were identified as being slightly more experienced than some of the others.
A wide event on ball from Ravani, who's into her second over. And are all the players, all 3 teams, and then the 4 men's side have been staying on the same site for the week?
Yes, it's very much a legacy event for Commonwealth Games, so everybody's been staying on the same site. You know, there's 9-10 sports, I think, at World Blind Games, so they've all been in a village type environment with food halls and enjoying the camaraderie of other sports. I know some of the girls and boys from England have been down to watch the football and all sorts of other powerlifting, judo, you name it. There's all sorts going on, archery, and I think they've really enjoyed getting involved in a multi-sport event.
Oh, quite right too. 29 for 1. End of the power play. 6 overs gone. So a solid start from Australia. Julie Neumann, the skipper, winning the toss about an hour or so ago, electing to bat. She's out there in the middle. She's got 3. She's with the young Macau, who has 8. Sam Dalling alongside Jane. What's your official title now, Jane? I know you seem to do many things. What hat are you wearing today?
Today, Sam, I would like to be... No, I'm the performance manager for disability cricket.
Das into the attack for India for the first time today. Into the 7th over. 6 bowlers used. Just Ravani, who has bowled a couple.
Great ball, just within they get a little bit extra width for VI cricket, so that was just within the lines that have been drawn there by the ground staff, and that was a good ball from Miss Das.
A decent tournament so far. Connie Reb just 3.5 from the 4 overs that she's bowled in the tournament so far. Category B1 player, Das, that's swept to mid-wicket, called through for a single, chance for a run out, just about gets through again. The enthusiasm of youth. Macau called her skipper through there. Neumann belatedly ran. I don't think they will discuss that one at too much length a little bit later on. safe enough as it was, come through for a single.
Yeah, when you've got two people running for themselves, it's slightly more straightforward than when you've got runners out there. So if you're a B1, you have a runner, and if you're a B2, then you can choose to have a runner or not. And then you'll see a slightly different tactic as well, where one person will stay within the crease till the other one almost gets down there, and then they'd run. So you're trying to sort of make sure you don't get run out at the danger end, and then the other person really does have to leg it to the non-striker's end.
Singled again for Bicau. She moves on to 9:31 for one, halfway through the 7th over here at Edgbaston. I'd love to say it was bathed in sunshine. The sun is out, it's poking its head through. But there are plenty of grey clouds looming. Hopefully it all blows through. Seems to have its own microclimate here at Edgbaston anyway. Das.
Lots of cricket going on here, isn't there, at Edgbaston? As she just goes outside the line there, so that's a wide bowl from Das.
And the group stages, Jane, have been at, is it King Edward's they've been playing?
King Edward's School, and the girls did play one game at Tally-Ho Cricket Club as well. So
what a name.
Yeah, Tally-Ho, very English, isn't it, Tally-Ho? But mainly at King Edward's School, which provided two very good fields for both the men's and the women's competition.
Men's final to come later, but the women's final up first here as Das is in to Julie Neumann, who's sweeping to the fielder at mid-on.
And if the listeners are going to tune in for the men's game, we'll no doubt be commentating on sixes and fours, because they really do hit the ball hard, and the outfield is so quick here because of the fact that the majority of the pitch, with a 40 and 48 yard boundary, is on the square, so there's very little grass on the square, particularly at this stage of the year.
Who'd want to be a bowler, driven to mid-on, but there'll be no run. Yes, they've been India 3 times world men's champions. They've been hosted and been in all 3 finals. Pakistan have twice been in the finals themselves. It's a strong game on the subcontinent. Yeah,
Pakistan beat India in the group game, so India will be looking to turn the tables, I think, in that game.
Pakistan, the first side to qualify out of the men's group. England and Australia are also competing in that one. That's a lovely looking shot from Neumann. Played it really, really late, waited right underneath her body, swept it round the corner. Picks up a single.
But again, we've just had a B1 over, and they've scored, I don't think they scored very many runs off that over, and that is an excellent, just the 4 runs for a B1 to only concede 4 runs is excellent in VI cricket.
And the majority of wickets, is it fair to say, tend to come through run out, so as opposed to
there's been a few bowls and a few LBWs. The rare one would be the catch, because obviously that's a very different scenario for VI players. Certainly in the first game that England played against Australia, there was a catch first, I think it was 3rd ball of the game. The England captain managed to get herself caught out. So you do get all variations of wickets, but the majority have been run out and bowled, I think.
See Ravani there, a B1 player, just checking her line, holding the ball next to the stumps at the non-striker's end, setting herself with the wicketkeeper, calling play. She lets go of it. Australia skipper Julie Neumann, who looks very strong through the covers actually. They've set a ring of fielders for her there. She's found one of them, so can't get off strike.
And very interestingly, tactically, India are bowling nearly all their B1s in the first few overs. So once they've bowled 8 overs, then they'll have their B2s and B3s to bowl, who are all partially sighted. So it's interesting that they're using their B1s first.
Going to be a wide there from Ravani, who is one of the B1s we were talking about. She's into her 3rd over. Just 9 runs conceded now with that wide so far. Had an over from Das as well, who's also a B1 player, and Tudu as well. So this is the 5th B1 over by my reckoning. swept into the leg side. In fact, I think it might be 6. I think Barsha is also
Barsha's B1, yes. The captain is B1, yes. She actually had to miss a game because in, I think their second game, she got hit on the head with the ball. So everybody, you know, I think we employ concussion and, you know, safety comes first. It's great to play in these competitions, but somebody's health will always come first. So she had to miss a game because of being hit on the head.
Swept again. Couch. Great bit of fielding.
That piece of footwork there. Maybe that. Oh, they're running again. They're going for the. Oh, and it's a direct throw, and she's out.
An absolutely wonderful throw. Questionable running, but the skipper Julie Neumann has to go. And in fairness, had that not been a direct hit, I think she would have made it. But that was a wonderful, wonderful piece of work.
I'm not sure she realised she had the ball in her hand, so as a result she sort of ran thinking it was gone past her, and there she was poised and ready and took aim and hit the stumps direct. It was a great throw.
Yeah, she would have got home but for that throw, and that throw's come in from what, 20-25 yards away from deep square leg to striker's end. A fine way to end the over from an Indian perspective. Oh, they know they're going to go.
I think there's another 3 balls left.
Right, and the umpires came together, which confused me. So ignore me. Bacau is on strike, and Courtney Lewis has gone out to join Bacau. Leading run scorer for Australia in the tournament so far. Courtney Lewis coming in at 4, a category B3 player. She'll be at the non-striker's end to start with.
So as far as who comes out to bat, they have to go in rota, in order. So if they went B1, B2, B3, then they have to go B1, B2, B3 again. Or they can go B3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. But they have to come out in order. It's a good shot, but straight to the fielder.
So that's interesting. So you can't go B1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
No.
Okay. You pick an order at the start and you have to stick with that.
Yeah.
These little nuances in the game. Lewis then on strike for the first time in the final. Number 12 on her back. Open stance, crouches. Barney's in. Makes good connection there. She quite wisely turns down the single. I'll give Bacau this. She is very keen with her running. She is scoring at a runner ball. She's a youngster, only 14. Perhaps not quite taking into account that her teammates might not all be as sprightly as she is. Lewis on strike. Bit of weight on her shoulders. She's the one Australian to have a 40+ score in this tournament. She gets down early and reverse sweep. She waited for that one. And they do come through for a single. It's okay.
Again, they hit the stumps though with the throw, and that's amazing that they can do that on a consistent basis. But the batter, I think it was Bacau, was well past the crease at the time. They're very excitable, the Indian girls, very excitable.
Well, they're excellent in the field as well. As you say, the number of direct hits we've had we've had a couple of run-outs affected and then a couple of more direct hits. End of the over, 8 gone. I'm going to do one more, then Dan Whiting is going to come back in alongside Jane if you're still around for a little bit longer. It's wonderful to have Jane Power with us. Das is going to continue. So another B1 over. 8 overs of the 20 in the innings have to be bowled by B1 players. India have bowled 6. They just opened up with a couple at one over each from Deepika and Seren. Just used B1 bowlers since then. Back to the change of bowling. A minute to do is going to come back into the attack. Fine, that's my job. Coming around the wicket. Lewis on the strike for
And one of the reasons you have those bails that are fixed is that the B1s will use it. They'll put their hands on the stumps to make sure they know where they are. So you can imagine if we had Zinger stump bails or just little wooden bails, we'd be spending most of the time picking them up. So it does make it more complex for the umpire to spot whether it is actually a run out or not, because obviously we rely on seeing a bail fall off the stump. So this is not an easy game for the umpires to have to adjudicate.
Lewis sweeps it out into the leg side for a single.
And the only time we have a free hit with a no ball is if the bowler will do a foot fault, so either the front foot or the back foot, and that's in the air, and it's a catch. What an amazing catch that was.
What a brilliant grab that was at mid-wicket. Bo Bacau, 14-year-old, he's batted superbly for 11. She chipped that one up, and you can see what it means towards the Indian players. Fielder took the catch, leapt across the pitch into the arms of her teammates. Bacau gets a hug from Courtney Lewis, 14-year-old, in a World T20 final. Has got Australia off to a brilliant start. But what a moment for India, Jane.
Yeah, so since you asked me what is the main dismissal, then we've seen a couple of really top-class dismissals. One with a direct throw for the run-out, and that catch there that she took so easily. It just looked like it was shelling peas, wasn't it? I'll just take this one out the air.
Absolutely magnificent catch. So 3 down now, Australia. A little bit of rebuilding to do, one thinks. Courtney Webeck is next out into the middle. She is going to be on strike to do as a wicket. Caught at mid-wicket to dismiss the Aussie opener, Bacau. That one would have been a wide had it been left. She got away with that one because it was driven by Webeck. Straight to the fielder at cover for no run. So a pair of Courtneys out there in the middle for Australia at the moment. A pair of New South Wales teammates as well, as that one is swept into the leg side by Webeck. A bit of fielding again at mid-wicket, stopped with the foot. They come through for a single. Nia Lapa, who's affected a couple of run-outs and a catch. She's been prolific with the bat as well in this tournament, has 100 to her name.
Yeah, she's probably the top fielder in the tournament as well. You know, you can see that she's alert, she knows how, she reads the game well, and then she affects her skills very well.
Good captaincy as well, to have your best fielders in the right places. As again, the sweep shot is out from Lewis. They've come through for one this time. Nia Lapa's throw can't quite hit the stump. She only had one to aim at. Wicketkeeper unable to pick it up cleanly. It was a tough one that. They escape through for a single. 9 overs gone, 41 for 3. I'm going to step out and Dan Whiting's going to come back in.
And you'll have seen on that last ball that the B1 there just slowed the ball down. And, you know, there's quite a lot of bravery expected or accepted of the B1s, because they field in quite close, and the ball is often hit at them, and basically they put their bodies on the line. But they're great team players to have.
Dr. Jane Powell, lovely to have you back on.
It's not Sunday yet. You don't have to call me Dr. Jane Powell. Jane will do.
When was the last time we caught up? Was it Wokingham last year in the Disability Premier League?
Yeah, it's a long time ago, isn't it? Or a lot can happen in the space of a year, and that's hit out to the cover and fielded quite comfortably.
Yeah, Nia Lapa bowling here. She was involved in the first run out.
Did she take the catch as well? I think she took the catch as well, so she's definitely affecting this game.
Yeah, she's a good fielder. That's a nice shot. Played into the onside there by Lewis. Courtney Lewis there, Australia's leading scorer in this competition, B3 category player. I love this game. There's loads of different tactics on there, and you know, I haven't seen it evolve yet. I think you have to see a full game to actually see.
Yes, and as I said earlier, you've got a very experienced side in India against not so experienced in Australia, and I think the tactical side of the game, you'll see it in its fullest when the men play, because India and Pakistan will be experts at the various tactics that are employed.
Okay. We're coming up to nearly the halfway stage in the Australian innings. It's a no ball there, and that could go. That's a good bit of fielding. It's a no ball, as well as being one onto the total as well. So score moving up. Australia captain Julie Neumann, she won the toss, elected to bat. So we're coming up to the halfway stage. India have bowled 10 wides. Is that good discipline, or is that about the norm? Or?
That's about the norm, to be honest, especially because they've bowled most of their B1s. So you would anticipate that a B1 would bowl potentially more wides than a B2 or a B3. So the fact that they've bowled nearly all their B1 overs will mean that you've got your partially sighted now to finish off the overs to be bowled.
What would you say if it was a pass score on here?
Well, somebody said to me, what did I think the scores would be? And I think out here, had India batted first, they would be looking at 250 plus.
That's swept away. That could be the first boundary. Oh, I thought the umpire hasn't given it there. I thought the foot might have been touching the rope there. She's pulled that one back in, but.
Yeah, I think she kicked the rope before she stopped it, so we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I think.
I always used to like to do that when I played.
Yeah.
Just kick the rope outwards so the boundary gets bigger. So.
So I would have expected India to be scoring 250 plus on this wicket.
250.
And I thought that Australia's top limit would possibly be around 100. So they're on for 100, aren't they? So
yeah.
It's a decent score for Australia, but I think India have just got a bit more firepower. So they may well struggle to contain them.
Well, that's the halfway stage of the Australian innings. They're 47 for 3. Now, since we spoke last, you've got a new role at Yorkshire, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Yeah, tell us all about it.
We are very honoured and very privileged to have been appointed Yorkshire President. So it's been a great last few months, to be quite honest. Very busy indeed, but getting around to see various people.
Well, it's a massive county, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, you know, from Sheffield to basically Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a huge.
So I've been to Scarborough and York, because obviously we play at the outgrounds, and two very good outgrounds, I might add, and all credit to the Scarborough folk and the York folk for.
York's a new one, isn't it? They've only started using it. Was it a couple of years ago they started to use York, or last season was it? Maybe, or maybe 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that's a new one on the circuit. Scarborough is just lovely. Scarbados, yeah, with the benches down there.
Yeah, brilliant.
Get big crowds there.
Well, we actually opened a new West Stand there this last year, so fully accessible changing facilities there in there now and everything. Okay. So a really top outground, that one.
Yeah. Yorkshire have had some wonderful outgrounds, haven't they? I mean, Harrogate, St George's Lane there.
Yeah. Well,
Bradford Park Avenue.
I guess I'm
Acklam
old enough
Park,
to remember Bramall Lane, you know.
Oh.
So, you know, that's a long time ago, I know, but I remember seeing a game or two down there.
I think 1973.
Yeah.
And what happened there was, it was originally, I think, the sort of the Sheffield Sporting Club, or whatever, Sheffield United Sporting Club. And the cricketers set that up.
And then the footballers took it over.
They got a majority share and booted the cricket lot out, because they had a three-sided ground, didn't they, Sheffield United?
Yes, that's right.
One of the oldest test venues. I think it was the first test match England played there?
I am listening, but I'm just wondering if it's starting to rain.
Yeah, I'm looking over there and those buildings.
I can see most of the crowd, of which we've probably got 100 people, 200 people in at the moment. They're all moving to the back of the hollies where there's a little bit of roof protection. They're not as hardy as the hollies stand normally are, who are normally quite loud by this stage, aren't they? And come what may.
I make no comment, Jane. I'm normally in there on my trips here, so yeah. Where else have Yorkshire played? I mean, they when they
Abbeydale Park.
Abbeydale, that had a big
Yeah.
slope on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Sheffield. That's Joe Root and Michael Vaughan's club, isn't it?
That's
Sheffield
right,
Collegiate.
yes. Sheffield Collegiate, that's right.
Yeah. There's a friend of ours who's working up at Yorkshire, a lady called Becca Garrard,
Yes,
who's a good
Yeah,
South London girl.
she's a very good and doing a great job with the press, with the media, with the tweets, with... I don't know if it's still a tweet anymore because it's
an
on
X
to
now.
X, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
what's going on there?
So I'm not sure what they call that anymore.
What's going on there? Anyway, here is into the attack. Just had a break, drinks break. It's
Patel.
Sushma Patel. That's brilliantly fielded. There, good shot by Lewis. I noticed some of the Australians, some are wearing the one-day caps and some are wearing the traditional baggy green.
Yeah, I think they were given their baggy green. I'm not sure if their baggy greens have... this is really a female thing, but as a female you like to have a hole in the back of your cap so you can put your ponytail out of it. So whether some of them have chosen the training cap because they feel that their hair sits better in it, I don't know.
That's swept down. I don't have that option, Jane.
No, and so I think sometimes the baggy green, whilst it's, you know, there's a lot associated with the baggy green, it might not be as practical as it is for the men.
Yeah. And, I mean, you spoke about this being a legacy tournament as well. I mean, surely cricket, blind cricket, has to get into the Paralympics, isn't it? Is that the way forward? Is that the way forward for the game?
Hopefully there's a push on that because obviously World Blind Games, you've got 4 or 5 sports that are using it as their Paralympic qualifiers. So the minute you start getting involved in the multi-sports, you put the sport in the minds of the people who run the Paralympics. So yes, it would be good to try and get VI cricket, blind cricket into the Paralympics.
Yeah. Is that the sort of where you're aiming at? Swept away for a single.
Yes,
there,
I mean,
that's
from a
50 up.
competition perspective, that would be great. From a I think for us, we just want anybody who wants to play cricket to be able to play it. So, there's no reason why anybody with a visual impairment can't play cricket. So, just to make that accessible and possible in every county would be a real step in the right direction.
That's a nice shot. That's swept away. Good field settings here. You've got a short square leg, a square leg who's it's sort of more of a mid-wicket, and a deep square leg, as well as a fine leg there as well. So
yeah, and what we've got here is square leg points, mid-off and mid-on are the B1s. So, and then you've got the B2s and 3s who are covering and the rest of the ground. So even if it goes to a B1, like it went near there, you can see the B2 reacting, B2, B3 reacting straight away to cover.
So there are tactics where you put your fielders here.
Yes, yeah, because obviously the B1s can't see the ball coming. They can hear it,
yeah,
but depending on if it's in the air, there's no noise. There's a noise when it's hit, but then the ball bearing settles, so there's no noise when the ball's in the air. So it's a question of where you put them. So you've got to make sure you've got cover behind every B1, so that if they go straight to them on the floor, then there's a chance they'll stop it. Anywhere else, they may struggle.
Australia 52 for 3. You're listening to me, Dan Whiting. I'm joined here by Jane Powell. Jane's Disability Premier League season as well at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Kicked off last week at Neston.
Yeah, down there tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to seeing the boys play.
Yeah, swept nicely there by...
I believe
Lewis.
we had 100 off 40 balls or 50 balls or something last week at DPL.
It was immense. I was
Angus Brown.
I was privileged enough to do the commentary on it. I'll be there tomorrow at Valley End as well, and it was an unbelievable innings. It really was. I think it's a fantastic competition. That's swept away. That could be a boundary.
That could be the first one.
That is it, yeah. And the Australians are going mad out in the crowd.
I'm not sure. I think they've only scored 2 boundaries in the previous games, 4 games. So they'll be delighted with that. And I think it's a testament to the outfield here at Edgbaston that the ball is travelling a little bit quicker than it has done previously. Mainly because the square covers the majority of the pitch here, so it's going to travel quickly on the square area.
Yeah, the building's just a little hazy with the rain in the city centre of Birmingham there. That's a nice shot. A couple of Courtneys at the crease here.
It's a very Australian name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Courtney Lewis, Courtney
Yeah.
Weaver.
Lucky enough to interview Courtney Walsh the other week at Cheltenham Festival.
Very good.
Yeah, that was to interview a guy with 519 Test wickets.
Yes.
It's an absolute privilege. As one more gets added to the total there as Webeck sweeps away out to deep square. 58 for 3 now. Both batters on 10. Reverse swept. Oh, that's a good shot. That's going to be the second boundary. That's over. That's innovative. Lovely shot. Courtney Lewis.
She looks like she scored 50 there, doesn't she?
They're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
But what, I mean, it must be fantastic to play on a ground like this. I mean, I was out there at the toss, just looking up at the stands here. It's immense, isn't it? It really is. And you think, imagine being here. You know, T20 finals day, packed house.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be terrified. I would be terrified out on the boundary.
And in fact, in 1973 was a great Women's World Cup
Rachel Hayhoe-Flint
final at this ground.
That's a nice shot. That's been hit towards the boundary. Great fielding though. Cuts it off. Got that one in front of square, hit it out towards deep mid-wicket, got on that early. Jamie, we won't keep you too long, we'll keep you one more over if that's all right.
Okay, I was just going to hand over then to Sam. He was just like half poised.
He's all right,
And these conditions now must be quite unusual for the Indians in particular. They won't be used to that mizzle, that we're so used to, you know, when people say, what's the weather doing? Well, it's sort of a mizzle. It's mist and it's drizzling a little bit. I did see the ground staff ready to pull the sheet on, but it looks like they've given up on that now. They're still down there, but chatting to the crowd, so...
Yeah, it's cleared over the city centre, isn't it? It's got a lot easier, and that sort of band of rain has just moved away to our right. So... Patel, 777, Sushma Patel.
Yeah, I don't know if I think the Indian women are the same, but the way the Indians do their numbering is if you wear 1 number, you're a B1. If you've got 2 numbers, you're a B2. And if you wear 3 numbers, you're a B3.
Right. Oh, that's dropped. Good effort. Lewis gets away with that.
That's Nilaka again that almost took another catch. She's in pole position there, isn't she?
Yeah.
There's quite a few of the aerial balls going into that mid-wicket area.
I think it's fantastic, I really do. I think that's swept nicely. It's well fielded there by Dilapra again. I think, you know, the whole sort of ethos of disability cricket is about what you can do, not what you can't do.
Absolutely.
And I think these people out here epitomise that.
Yeah, and
I think it's
you
wonderful.
know, a key message to my coaches is coach them cricket and look at how to adapt it for whichever disability you've got in front of you. and that's just good coaching.
Yeah.
A good coach will look at who's there and try and get the best out of that player. So there's no difference for me with our coaches as to how they should approach the coaching. We're looking at them scoring runs, we're looking at them bowling straight, we're looking at them fielding the ball. So if we can do that and raise the bar every time we do it, I think it was Terry Jenner who used to say to me, inch by inch it's a cinch, yard by yard it's too hard, and it's like just little tiny bits, just don't
That's
worry.
down the leg side, that's swept nicely. Down to fine leg, well fielded.
It's really well fielded.
So, before you go, I mean, what is sort of is the message that you want to get across to the people who are listening and watching this, maybe for the first time?
Yeah, please reach out if anybody has any disability of any sort, and when you want to play cricket, just contact your county board or. And there'll be a team for you to join, because we want everybody to play this wonderful game that we get so much pleasure out of, and you can see the delight and enjoyment that these women are having out there playing the game, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be playing the game. So reach out and look forward to having our numbers doubled, trebled. I'd like to have a few headaches because I've got too many people playing.
Well, you know what to do, people. That's reverse swept there from Courtney Lewis. Now, Jane, you've been a fantastic guest, and the work that you're doing as well is absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
It's a credit to you. It's a credit to all the guys in your team as well, and you should be very proud of what you do.
Yeah, no, it's great if everybody pull in their weight, and then we can get some real good rewards from that. So all credit to all the county people as well as people in the central team, because I can see the standards are going up and up all the time. Thanks very much.
No problem. Jane Powell there. I'm only allowed to call her a doctor on a Sunday. Sam Dalling's going to come back and join us as India 68 for 3, 13 overs, so just 7 left, as we're going to see Basanti Hansda come into the attack. That's a no ball. That's pitched not in our own half of the pitch.
It's a steady, this, Dan, from Australia.
Yeah, I think Courtney Lewis looks a good player.
Yeah, both the Courtneys, Courtney Lewis, Courtney Webeck, out there in the middle. Courtney Webeck's had a busy week. She's been playing in the tennis tournament as well.
Oh,
She's
wow.
a fine tennis player, yeah.
I mean, that's dual sport. We haven't seen that sort of cricket for years, have we?
No, she's a talented young lady on strike. These two teammates at New South Wales together. I think she's Australian champion B2 and B3 tennis. Courtney Webeck.
Hansda. Oh, that's a good ball. Beats Webeck outside the off stump.
Tell you what, Julie Neumann, she might not have been best pleased at her own run out, but I think she'll be quite happy with her side's effort so far here. What are we into the 14th over?
Yeah.
Players coming together for a second.
Yeah, Jane Powell, the Aussies should be sort of getting around the 100 mark off their 20, whereas India probably going to get about 250. So, I think if Australia get to 110 from here, I think they'll be quite happy with that.
Yeah, it's always going to be a tall order, I think, for the Australians. That's the beauty of sport, you never quite know. If they give themselves something to bowl at, they've got half a chance.
Swept away there by Webeck. With 3 runs off her bowling so far.
Brilliant.
10 wides, 4 no balls in this Australian total.
Brilliant to have Jane Powell with us, isn't it?
Fantastic, isn't she? Inspirational.
She does get everywhere. She lives and breathes cricket, forms of it. A change in the field, the umpire helping one of the Indian B1 category players into position at a short point.
I think there's a gap at sort of behind point, backward point here.
That reverse sweep.
Yeah, I wonder if Courtney Lewis is going to get the reverse sweep out.
It's going along nicely, 19 off 21.
Got the boundaries in there. Down the leg side from Hansda as Courtney Lewis tips over to 19 with that single. Almost to a run of ball as well. It's a good innings this. It was a good partnership building between the two Cornies. Came in with a score on 40. Now for 73. It's a no ball.
Yeah, that one not bouncing in the bowler's own half. Ball's got a bounce in both halves of the pitch. There's a big white line down the middle of the pitch, an additional line.
That's going to be a wide. Hansda probably needs to get through this over here. Starting to become a little expensive.
Just been directed to go and wipe her hands in the sawdust, maybe give her a little bit of additional grip. Not a bad tactic. Just seemed to be slipping out the ball.
There's a nice and straight one there. One to the total, 76 for 3 now. Webex on to 20.
Good bit of fielding there from Priya. B1 category player at square leg, on as a sub fielder. Gets down early.
So who's due to come in next? Adeline Rowe.
She's carded to come in at 7.
Ashley Malone's due to come in.
Australia have just won these two, the two Courtneys, to keep back.
There's a reverse sweep from Lewis. Got it a little bit too fine, didn't she?
Yeah, 9 bowlers used so far by India, showing their strength in depth.
Scorer's nightmare, isn't it? I wonder if they're running out of space in the scorebook. Swept away by Courtney Webeck.
That was a straight one. She had to connect with that. She'd have been in trouble if she'd have missed that ball.
14 gone. 79 for 3. Courtney Lewis 21, Courtney Webeck 15. Australia just maybe setting a total here for India. You never know, Sam Dalling, you never know.
No, you don't. If you're just joining us, welcome to Edgbaston, where the sun is shining. Australia versus India. Well, I think technically India are the home side, aren't they? So India versus Australia in the Women's World Blind Games T20 final. Australia having been having chosen to bat, in fact. 79 for 3. The two Courtneys were Beck and Lewis out there in the middle and putting on a bit of a partnership here. Australia going along nicely against the favourites, India. Heavy favourites, really. Won all 4 of their group games, including a crushing defeat of Australia just a couple of days ago. But you never know in finals. Australia giving a good account of themselves, putting a score on the board. Sam Dalling alongside Dan Whiting. We had Jane Powell as well. alongside us. Dr. Jane Powell was down.
Dr. Jane Powell, yeah.
I'm calling her.
Yeah.
79 for 3 Australia. 6 overs left, and they've given themselves a bit of a platform now as Das is back into the attack. 1 over 0 for 4 so far. Swept by Quebec into the leg side. They're going to scramble through for a single, and they just about get there. Courtney Quebec throws her head into the sky. She knows that ball was close.
Direct hit, she was gone there, wasn't she?
She was, and we've seen a fair few direct hits as well. The standard of the Indian fielding has been absolutely superb.
Certainly has been.
Das then bowling from a standing start. Bowlers can pick. They can either from a standing start or can have a run up, but the batters get told. And that one has just rolled away, started in line, but there are those ball bearings in the ball that sometimes mean there's a little bit of deviation. That one goes outside the blue line, is a wide.
No, I think the Indian fielding has been fantastic, especially Gangavan Nilapa. She's been fantastic at taking a catch, involved in a run out.
Looking forward to seeing her bat as well.
Yeah.
Earlier in the tournament, leading run scorer. Swept by Lewis on that one. Just as we talk about the standard of fielding, just a slight misfield. Has that made it all the way to the boundaries? Umpires just conferring. It is 4 runs for Courtney Lewis. You can hear the Australian crowd, who have most of them moved to the back of the hollies. We did have a little bit of rain. Sun is out again now. There's a few down at the front. The first chant of Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Well supported wherever they go. Lewis moves from 25. She's batting beautifully. Sets herself ready to go again. Das has ball in hand. Let's go it. Lewis sweeps. This time, chance for a run out. A great bit of work. And that's Neil Apper there, who's been heavily involved. Come through for a single. Lewis moves on to 26. Score moves on to 86 here at Edgbaston.
Yeah, Australia going along nicely.
Quebec just taking her time, steadying herself. Sweeping into the leg side. And Apper again is quick. It's another direct hit. Quebec just about gets home. Quite brilliant she's been in the field.
Yeah, the England team are here as well. They'll be in the medal ceremony after the game. They came bronze medalists. That medal presentation should be taking place roughly around 2:30, depending on when we can, finish this one.
That is in, swept by Lewis again. Again, they come through for a single. This is good from Australia, just picking it up, picking up the runs, run a ball. Sun is out. Das just checking where the stumps are at the non-striker's end. B1 player. Just getting her bearings. Chap, the wicket keeper. One's gone down the leg side. Well, that's a beautiful shot from Rebecca. It was going down the leg side. The Indian wicketkeeper had read it and had moved. And she swept it inside the wicketkeeper. I thought she might have picked up a boundary there.
Clever cricket. Yeah, clever cricket.
Single to end the over then for Quebec. So 15 gone. Australia 89 for 3. Setting themselves up nicely here.
It's quite leafy, Edgbaston, isn't it? It's the first time I've approached it from the southwest, the way I approach the ground, and it's very pleasant, that sort of area out there to the southwest. I normally approach it, normally get a train into New Street, walk down the Pershore Road, walk back, often loitering for a ball tee on the way back sometimes. Saran is going to bowl from the city end. 89 for 3 now after 15. Scored 21 off the last 2. So they'll be pleased with this, Australia. Reverse swept.
They'll be delighted, I think, the Australians. Is that the 50 partnership up? When do they come together? 40?
40, yeah, it
so
is,
the
yeah.
Previous run.
Yeah. There's one there. Oh, that was close. Some nice comments as well on YouTube. Feel free to drop us a line. Sam Dalling will take your difficult questions and I'll take the easy ones.
Yeah, do feel free to correct us. We're learning as we go as well.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoying ourselves here on the live stream.
That's
Just a single.
what's the total?
Deal with 4 fielders outside the circle.
Slower ball there from Fulasaran.
Oh, Mike's here as well on the stream. Mike's one of the regulars on the Somerset live stream.
Ah. Morning, Mike. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm finding it fascinating. I'm you know, learning as I go along, as you said, learning the tactics.
Sweep shot.
That completes the 16th over, 94 for 3 here at Edgbaston. Australia having won the toss and elected to bat. They've made a decent fist of this, actually. The weather looks a little bit of drizzle or mizzle, or like a sort of, it can't be a sea fret because we're more inland than you can get, but
About as Midlands as we can get.
yeah, but it was like a sea fret, wasn't it? And it came across the ground, forced the Australians to go undercover in the hollies.
According to Chris Ive, who is an international blind cricket umpire, the numbering system I think you and Jane were talking about first started back in 1998 at the first World Cup in Delhi. So it's 1 number for a B1 player, 2 numbers for a B2 player, 3 numbers for a B3 player.
But not every country uses it, Jane said. I think India use it, but not every country uses it. So
94 for 3 then here. Australia with 4 overs.
what do you think they're going to get? Do you think they'll get 130?
I was thinking 120.
Yeah.
130 they would love.
Yeah.
I think they'd have set up for 120 at the start. Julie Neumann, when she won the toss, feels like a couple of hours ago almost now. Going to see Lucas Davies into the attack. So the 10th bowler used by Varsha, the Indian skipper.
Yeah, Sandra Davis.
The right armour. Into
Oh,
the
there's a horrendous mix-up here. And it's going to be Courtney Lewis who's the person to go. Webbeck stayed in the crease.
I think Webbeck knew that it was Neil Apper at mid-wicket. She's been so good. She's been involved in, well, all 4 wickets now. 3 run-outs and a catch for her. So Courtney Lewis has to go. 29, brilliant innings. She'll be frustrated. She'd have liked another 3 or 4 overs out there. Could have put Australia in a really good position. She has put Australia in a good position. 54 runs, that partnership, for the 4th wicket. 94 for 3. Who are we going to see coming out to the middle now for Australia, is it? I think that's Ashley Malone, category B1 player, with 10 on her back, accompanied by a runner. So Australia don't use that 3-number system, the one that India use. Ashley Malone with number 10. She's being joined by Bo Bacall, a 14-year-old who we saw batting as she opened the batting for Australia. She's out there as
she's quick.
Runner. She is quick.
Yeah, Chanakan Bo Bacall.
She has got Courtney Wilbeck though, at the striker's end, who is quick herself. We'll be talking about her tennis exploits. Young lady, fine sportswoman. She's going to be on strike. She's got 21. She's going to leave that one alone. It's going to be a wide. Question as to whether Ian Martin is still involved. Yeah, Ian's here today. Ian Martin and Richard Hill, both here with the ECB. As that swept by Wilbeck. Pick up a single out to deep square leg. Good bit of fielding. Excellent bit of fielding. To the
Richard
keeper.
Hill does a fantastic job, doesn't he? He really does.
Both Richard, Ian, Neil Bradshaw, Jane Powell, wonderful team. We've had the pleasure of working alongside. We get the easy bit, we just turn up and watch the wonderful cricket, but the amount of work that team puts in behind the scenes. As Malone is about to face her first ball, just taking guard with help of Bacall, who's out there running for it. So an extra dynamic with a runner out there. B1 player. Ashley Malone taking strike. 96 for 4 Australia are. We're into the 17th over here. Field is in for the new batter. Davies releases. Big appeal for OEW. I think that's going down the leg side. It was certainly enthusiastic from India. It's always the way in whatever form of cricket you play. It's the fielders that are square of the wicket that are most enthusiastic with the OEW appeal.
Or on the boundary.
You can be sure whatever game of cricket you go and watch, square leg is always appealing enthusiastically. This is good from Davies. Just a couple of runs from her free deliveries so far. Playing a miss from Malone. This is just what India needed at this stage of the game, last couple of overs, when Australia will be looking to accelerate. Sandra Davies has come on and just tied them down a little bit. Malone waits. Ball into play. Swept by Malone nicely. She'll get off the mark with a single. Wilbeck had to hurry through for that one, but it was a good call.
Quick.
Yeah, she's quick. Bacall's quick. Malone has one. That is one ball left in the over. Wilbeck's going to go on to strike. 22. If she can get up to 30, 35, that'll put Australia up in that 110, 115.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's played a really good innings here.
That one's a wide from Davies. Swept by Wilbeck. They'll come through for a single to end the over. And that huge cheer you can hear in the background, because Australia have reached 3 figures. They're through to 100. 100 for 4 with 3 overs of their innings remaining. As the batters Malone and Wilbeck come together. Been a brilliant effort so far from Australia. Captain Julie Neumann electing to bat a little bit earlier on today, opting to try and put runs on the board for this final in which India are heavy favourites. Well, Australia are giving a good account of themselves so far. Topeka TC is back into the attack. She opened the bowling. She's coming in off a slightly longer run up, 5 or 6 paces. Lebec waits. Lebec sweeps, good connection. Come through for a single. Welcome back, Dan. Just
It's 100 up.
There we go, I can hear you.
Yeah, there's the 100 up.
Oh, you run too late, Dan. I've already done that.
Ah, sorry.
You got excited.
Having 1 or 2 technical problems there. So, Ashley Malone is about to face Chanakan Bo Bakau, who's acting as a runner. Puts her in position, doesn't she, every ball? Oh, that's got to be close. I think it's Boulder, yeah. I thought there was an appeal for LBW there.
Yeah, it's a beauty. The new ball, the opening bowlers come back into the attack for India. They're doing a brilliant job here, aren't they? Just slowing Australia down at a key time in the game. That was straight. Malone went for the sweep. Didn't get any bat on it. Snuck through. Bales on the stumps are fixed in blind cricket. Indian girls delighted. They've got their 5th wicket.
And Bakau is about to run as well for Nicole Rowling, who is the new batter at the crease. So Bakau doing the job of the youngster in every team, isn't she? They're going to want Courtney Webeck, though, to have as much of the strike as possible in the remaining 16 balls of this Australian innings. Picard down the leg side. Suddenly changed my headphones because the noise was cutting in and out of the previous ones, and the screaming here coming through my headset is immense. That's players and crowd.
Nicole's already a favourite of mine because she is from Somerset. Somerset in Australia, I should add.
It's actually on the scorebook as Ferris. Deanne Ferris. 1-2, huh? Yeah. I had it down as Nicole Rowling, but it's Deanne Ferris, Western Australian. That's well bowled. Oh, it's a wide. Oh, I thought that was a little harsh.
Experienced player Deanne Ferris, been playing cricket, blind cricket for almost 20 years now.
Swept away by Webeck out to deep square. So India's scores here have been, well, they chased 61 for 2 off 6.5 in the first game. Then they've been in the 200s, 268 for 2, 245 for 2, 217 for 2. So it's been absolute carnage, isn't it? Been real Ball's been flying around everywhere.
Two overs remaining there in the Australian innings, 104 for 5. Sandra Davies looks to be continuing around the pavilion end. Courtney Webbeck, who's made her way to 25, she's batting nicely, she's on strike. Dee Ferris from Western Australia is at the non-strikers end, although it's actually Bo Bacall who is running for her. Category B1 players have a runner, B2 players cannot for a runner, they don't have to have one. Davies releases and Webbeck is sweeping. There's a fielder down there at deep fine leg, and they come through for a single.
Yeah, Webbeck's been very good with a sweep. Hasn't missed much. But India just applying the brake on this Australian innings at a crucial point, as you mentioned, Sam.
Swept by Ferris. They're going to try and come through for a single. Chance to run out, and it's going to be run out. So Ferris has to go for just a single. Bacall, the runner, couldn't quite get home. India have been superb in the field, and that's another wicket.
And more importantly at this stage of the game, a dot ball.
So are we going to get the lady from Somerset coming in next? Because if we are, Courtney Webbeck is from Gloucester in New South Wales.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Come on, the gloss.
Dan is in the English domestic cricket men's county game. He works for Gloucestershire. I work for Somerset. I think we might have
Bit of rivalry going on, bit of West Country rivalry.
if it is who we think it is. No, it's Ingrid McKenna by the looks of things, in fact. So we aren't going to get it. Number 11 on her back. Should be at the non-striker's end. Oh, back on strike. Sweeping into the leg side. They've come through for a single. They look for a second. They think about
well
it.
fielded.
Decided not to.
That's Nilappa again, isn't it?
She's been brilliant, hasn't she?
Yeah, she cuts off the boundary there. Really well fielded.
Ingrid McKenna then. Strike for the first time today in this final. Sweeps into the leg side. She hesitated because she saw it was Nilappa. Oh, and she was so close to being run out. It was another good throw.
Oh no, there's a mix-up, there's a mix-up.
It's gone. McKenna, she just about got home. Nilappa missed the stumps of the original throw. McKenna wanted the second. She got 3/4 of the way down, realised Webbeck had said no, just a slight mix-up. It's unfortunate that from Ingrid McKenna. She is run out. India taking wickets regularly now, just to stifle any sort of Australian momentum. We hope
Fifth run out.
Brilliant fielding.
Yeah.
The standard of fielding has been absolutely superb. Ingrid McKenna comes and goes. Here's the single. Who have we got?
Bacall is running again.
She is. I think that's Jennifer Parry that's come out, a B1 player. Just being helped to square leg. She'll be at the non-striker's end. Bacall's at the... Sorry, she'll be with the square leg umpire. Bacall at the non-striker's end, running for her. Sandra Davies, couple balls left in this over.
She's pulled it back, Sandra Davies, hasn't she? She started off a little bit loose, but it's been very tidy since then.
Quebec waits, sweeps to Neil Apper. They'll have to be quick again here. This time Neil Apper goes to the striker's end. There's another direct hit. She's absolutely superb in the field. It's given us not out. It was close, that. Jennifer Parry. Well, Neil Apper's fielding has been absolutely superb.
You don't mess with her, do you, at mid-wicket? There's no liberties to be taken there. When Gangava Neil Apper is anywhere near the ball.
Parry on strike then. Also musician, Parry, a singer, whose career highlights have included singing solo at the Sydney Opera House.
Ooh.
She's in. Sweeping, but that one's gone too wide down the leg side, so she can add this to her career highlights. Not a bad double, that, is it? Singing, performing solo at the Sydney Opera House, playing in a World T20 final at Edgbaston.
I'm waiting for you to belt out a tune on there, Sam.
You'll be waiting a while.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You'll be waiting a while. There it is, it's another wicket. It's bowled, it's brilliant from Sandra Davies. Another straight delivery. The Indians are absolutely delighted. I love the enthusiasm with which they celebrate their wickets. Jennifer Parry it is, who's come and gone, bowled by Sandra Davies without troubling the score. She's a relatively late comer to blind cricket. Sandra Davies been playing for a couple of years. Brilliant to have her out here. Not to be her day with the bat. She's in a situation where Australia are looking to score quickly, only 8 or 9 balls left in the innings.
Yeah, but they are capitulating here under Indian pressure. India being superb here. Great fielding, tidy bowling, just good disciplined cricket.
Well, Beck is still out there though, 28 unbeaten. That was the end of the over. So 19 gone, 109 for 8. Well, Beck will be looking to face as many of these balls as she possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, I thought sort of from 3 or 4 overs ago she had to, once Courtney Lewis was out, really I thought Quebec had to try and farm the strike. Adeline Rowe is the new batter. That's a nice shot from Quebec. Turns it around the corner for the single. So into the last over. 120, well 130 is out of the question really. Deepika bowling. That's going to be a wide. Rowe facing the first ball. Swing across the line there from Rowe. I think bat on ball is the key here, and try and give the strike to Courtney Quebec. Top scorer for Australia. That's a nice shot. They're going to get 1 for it. But very nice shot.
Still an outside chance, about 120, 112 so far. They look to add at least another couple to that. So a decent effort this from Australia.
Yeah. They've got something to bowl at, haven't they, here? Is Quebec. What can she do? She's been the star of the show. That's down the leg side. Good bowling from Deepika. Bowling to a field there. Calling Quebec can only pick out deep backward square or deep fine leg with that. As she does there. She moves into the 30s. Fantastic effort. 36 balls. It's played into the onside. So the Australian innings is curtailed after 20 overs on 114 for 8. Sam, do you want to give us the scorecard of the batters?
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Australia. They can be very proud of that. Courtney Wilbeck, top scoring with an unbeaten 30. The other Courtney Lewis making 29 from 28 balls. There was also a double-figure score from Bakal at the top of the order. She made 11 all in all. We had 114 runs for Australia. So India required 115 to become the World Blind Games champion. Pick of the bowlers probably Deepika, 3 overs, 1 for 11. She was superb to do. And Sandra Davies, the other bowlers to pick up wickets. I think star for India though was Neil Appa in the field. 3 run-outs and that brilliant catch to dismiss Bakal off to do. So a brilliant effort from all concerned, really. Yeah. 115 required for victory.
Yeah, 5 run-outs in that Australian innings, and they'll be thinking, what could have been, perhaps. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back. Go and stick the kettle on, and we'll be back in about 7 or 8 minutes to see how India chase down this Australian target of 114. Good afternoon, and there's the scene from Edgbaston where rain has stopped play here as Australia. Good afternoon, and there's the scene from Edgbaston where rain has stopped play here. Back out as to Australia see the settings take place 15 to win in their second innings. But unfortunately, we did not get back out. We're losing overs. The situation in the game is that we are losing overs. We've got a small window. 5 overs does constitute a game, and we're going to keep you updated. We're losing overs. The situation in the game is that we will keep you updated. We've got a small Stick with us throughout the day. 5 overs does constitute a game. Any more news, we'll be straight back to you. See you soon. And the whoops and the hollers that you can hear in the background mean that play is about to resume shortly. Edgbaston bathed in sunshine here, and that shower has passed through, and we should resume. So the long and short of it is that India have 9 overs to score 42 runs under DLS, which quite frankly they should do, if I'm being brutally honest with you. So a few people taking refuge at the back of the Holly stand under cover there. A few people ducking into executive boxes. It's quite a healthy crowd now building up here. It's good to see. Great to see everybody supporting the World Blind Games T20 final. That noise is the Indian team. They've got a whoop and a holler when they have a team meeting. It goes right through my headphones. So those are the Indian fans you can hear as well, having a good day out, enjoying themselves. My name's Dan Whiting. I'm joined by Sam Danning. Afternoon, Sam.
Afternoon, Dan. You well?
Yeah, all right, mate. Nice little break.
Yeah, well, it was not really what we wished for. I always feel a bit, we were talking off air, weren't we, about the side batting second seems to have an advantage in T20 in a short game. Was that 104, 115 they would have needed off 20 overs, now just 42 off 9. India surely probably started heavy favourites, and that would have tipped the scales in their favour.
Yeah, I think it needs looking at with DLS in T20 cricket. I think it works in 50 over cricket. I think it's fine in 50 over cricket. But in T20 cricket, I think you need to look at, because India should romp home with 42 needed off 9. Got 10 wickets in hand as well. That's where it comes down to, because the shortened game, the 10 wickets in hand means that you can go for it all the way.
Yeah, heavily, a very strong batting side. India, in any event, breached 200 a couple of times in the group stages. We'll need nowhere near that. 42 or 54, you would imagine, will be a bit of a canter for India, but you never know. That's the beauty of finals, the beauty of professional sport. You just never know. Australia still have a chance. Neil Appa probably going to be key. 222 runs in the tournament for her, including a wonderful one, beating 117 in the group stages. They've got run scorers all the way through. 4 different half-centurions, 3 different half-centurions. Neil Appa's made 117, 69. Das has made 86. It's going to be Neil Appa, no surprises, out there in the middle to face the first ball.
She looks like a very good cricketer. I mean, she was involved in 3 run-outs, wasn't she, in the Australian innings. Took a really good catch, and she looks a really good player. So the umpires are out there.
Neil Appa, reverse sweeping. First up. Adeline Rowe opening the bowling for the Australians. Neil Appa off the mark straight away with a single. Deepika TC is out there too. She opened the bowling, came back and bobbied a fit at the end as well. Feels like a long time ago. Sweep shot into the leg side. Get at least one, and they'll stay with one. That's all they need to do, really, India, isn't it? Run a ball, takes them home with time and overs to spare. There's a decent crowd up in the Hollies, most of them still just hiding at the back, not trusting the weather. A few have come down into the front to enjoy the sunshine. As Rowe is in. Neil Appa is sweeping. Another single into the leg side. Every Indian run being cheered by their vociferous support.
Yeah, it's good atmosphere building here. We had a Aussie earlier, didn't we?
Reverse sweep, picks them up a couple. Here in the background on the effects mic, the enthusiasm in this tournament, why not? World title on the, well, World Blind Games gold medal on the line anyway.
Magnificent, isn't it? Great atmosphere.
2 balls left then in this first over of 9. That one straight. Swept into the leg side. He was in the air for a little bit. They come through for 1. They're going to run on the misfield. Yeah, they are. Good running. Come through for a second. This is good from India. Australia under pressure already. India were pretty in the field. Australia are going to have to match them, you feel, if they're going to have any chance of coming away with the gold medal.
Yeah, Chanakan, Bo Bucco doing the fielding.
Another sweep shot. Again, they take 1. Misfield again, but they stick to 1 this time. So a good start for India. First over of this chase. Got to remember, a shortened chase because of the rain. 1 over gone, 8 without loss. India require just 34 from the remaining 48 balls down.
Yeah, they should romp this, shouldn't they? Quite easily. Lapper, very good player. The captain as well, Varsha. She's a decent player. India should take their place. It's gold medalists here shortly. 8 for none. So we're going to see Courtney Lewis come into the attack, and that's swept away nicely. Oh, a bit of spin on the ball there. Foxes. Bucco.
She recovered well there, actually. Slight midfield initially, but did well to save the boundary.
We held the balls earlier, didn't we, during that rain break? That smashed through the onside. Two runs there. We held the balls earlier. And I tried to catch one with my eyes shut. And it is impossible.
Yeah, full of admiration.
Yeah,
skill level out there.
Absolutely full of admiration for these girls. Really, you know, hats off to them. That's going to be a wide.
It's tracking it, you know, some of them have some level of vision, but it's tracking it through sound, through spatial awareness. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah. Trying to see a bowler bowling in their caps. Courtney Lewis.
Yeah, don't mind this.
Yeah. Jeff Boycott used to do it for a little bit, didn't he? He used to put his cap on backwards. And he sort of bowled right arm round.
Brilliant start this from India, doing exactly what they need to do.
Yeah. There's 28 needed to win. So they're a third of the way to their total. With just 9 balls. Smash through the onside, good stop there. Square leg.
They're clinical, aren't they? They don't seem to leave anything out there. There's no chance for, they don't allow themselves to get tied down.
No.
We've seen a dot ball yet.
Neumann skippering and keeping wicket for Australia. That's again the spin. Not easy to deal with, but Bucco doing the fielding there. Now that's a good shot. There's going to be at least 2 there. Played. We haven't seen many straight drives, have we? And there's one of them.
Neumann was very good for the covers, actually.
Yeah.
Had a couple of lovely cover drives. Yeah. Majority of the runs coming through sweeps.
So India 18 for none at this stage. The Australians were 7 for none. India way ahead of the run rate. That rain's just moved away to our right here.
I think it'll be all right for the rest of the day, you know. Going to be Rowe, I think, continuing. Is it going to be a change? No, it's going to be a change, in fact. Category B1 bowler with the helmet on.
Jennifer Parry.
Thanks, Dan. I think quite see who it was from up here. That's a lovely shot from Deepika.
Good fielding.
Come through for a single though. That's what the Indians have done so well in this early part of their innings.
Yeah, their running's better than the Australians, isn't it?
They're running.
Their fielding is better as well.
You can see they've been playing for longer. You can see the difference in standard. Parry then. Nilapa waits. Smashes that one through the covers. He's going to pick up a couple here. Won't quite reach the boundary. It's a brilliant bit of work from the fielder. They come through for 2. And yeah. Onto 21 now, halfway there already. 2.2 overs gone, 6.4 overs remaining. There's surely no way back for the Australians from here. You just never know, but it will take something quite special. And there is that sweep from Nilapa. It was going wide. She's played it down the inside of wicketkeeper Mata, and it's the first boundary of the innings. Lovely shot.
The noise here is unbelievable. Edgbaston's rocking.
Thoroughly enjoying themselves. India well on their way to a gold medal. 25 without loss. Tournament's leading run scorer by some distance is at the crease. She moves on to 11 with that shot.
Yeah, Gangava Nilapa.
Leaves that one alone. I suspect it's going to be a wide. Just moved away after the point of release. Those ball bearings in the ball sometimes causing it to misbehave. There's Parry from a static runner. Measures herself against the non-striking end stumps to get her bearing. Oh, she's bowled her. Nilapa has gone. Australia have their first wicket, and it's a big one as well. Nilapa has had such a good tournament so far. A century to her name. She just picked up the first boundary of the innings, but she won't be out there for what looks to be an Indian victory. She's been bowled by Parry.
Jennifer Parry, great stuff. Great stuff. Just the eruption amongst the Australian teammates. They know how much that wicket means. It might be too little, too late, but Aussies always go down fighting, don't they? They don't give it away, Australians.
Certainly not. Just never know. Have they given themselves a sniff? Probably not. Right, who have we got out here, Dan? Category B1 player by the looks of things out there.
Simu Das, I reckon it is.
Yeah. Also has a half century to her name. She'll have a runner, Category 1 B1 cricketer, so she will have a runner out there with her. She's going to take strike. Parry just picked up the wicket. This is in, and I think Simu Das is using the back of her bat there. Really clever shot. Reverse sweep. She was in there early. And she's off the mark with a single straight away.
I saw Bob Willis do the same thing once. He actually turned his bat round. Man, he played a lot of cricket on this ground.
Das scores double. This is a B1 player. That's a great shot. That's a lovely, lovely stroke. 4 runs into the leg side. I think it was Deepika.
Yeah, I think it was Deepika as well, because they took the single.
Scoreboard has it as Das. I make Deepika on 2.
Das definitely hasn't got 12 off 2 balls.
Das on 2. She took the single. She scores double because she's a B1 player, so she moved on to 2 the single. Then Deepika hit the boundary to end the over. 38 for 1. Just 4 runs now needed for an Indian victory.
Surely there's no scores there, is it?
It can't be 48. Hang on, it can't. I think that's actually wrong. It won't be 4 runs for victory. India are closing in on victory, but it
Well, the
won't.
scoreboard's wrong, because Das hasn't got 12 off 2 balls. I mean, that would be, you know, an entrance to the crease like yourself, Sam, you know? Not playing yourself in, just going for it straight away. Right, we're going to see. There's a wide there. It's Courtney Lewis starts us off. I'm not sure that is Lewis, actually.
No, I don't think it is. The Indians poised, ready to go out there. They'll have to wait a second. It's Whelan, I think, with ball in hand. It's actually 9 they need to win after that wide. Scoreboard has been corrected.
Can they do this over? There's a wide. Yeah, Tess Whelan. B1.
See that there in the screen using the stumps.
Yeah, lining it up.
Just making sure she's got her positioning right. Calls play. It's gone just too far down the leg side there.
Be another wide.
Just needs to take a breath, compose herself here.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Big occasion. Can happen to anybody.
I have a feeling when the winning runs are scored, there's going to be a pitch invasion.
I don't know what gives you that impression, Dan.
The Indian flag is poised. Green, white and orange of India. Flying proudly here. And Edgbaston. Another wide there from Tess Whelan.
Some encouragement from her teammates, Tess Whelan. That's good to see.
Here she comes. Where's this one going? That's going to be a wide as well. Come on, Tess. Get it down there.
Just hasn't quite got the measure of the slight slope here yet. I'm sure she'll get there though, Tess.
I think the ball bearings make the ball go off at certain angles as well.
You can see she's getting plenty of encouragement out there though from her teammates. 5 to win now for India. There you go, Tess.
Here we go. Go on, Tess. Three to win for India to take the gold medal. The World Blind Games T20 here at Edgbaston. Tess Whelan. That's going to be another wide. 2 to win now.
Go on, Tess.
Go on, Tess.
She's got one right so far in the over. Big occasion. She'll keep going though.
Oh, and it's been smashed. So 1 to win.
Scores level. Das on strike.
There's your money on Sam.
My money is on flag, Indian flag, making its way onto the pitch very shortly.
I think you might be right. I think you might be right. India, 1 to win.
It's better, Tess.
Whelan. And there it is. India win the gold medal here at the T20 finals. The World Blind Games at Edgbaston. Pitch invasion. The flag comes on. India win by 9 wickets.
Oh, what a wonderful moment. What a wonderful moment for these guys. A gold medal in a world tournament. Disappointment from Australia, who put up a brilliant effort batting first. Disadvantaged by the rain, really. It would have been 115 off 20 overs required. Suddenly it's 42 needed in 9. It is advantage to the batting side already. Such a strong side as well. India, you can hear the noise from their spectators. Australia put up a brilliant effort there. The two Courtneys with the bat, they also picked up a wicket, but it just wasn't quite enough. India getting over the line, claiming the gold medal. They're delighted. They had a brilliant tournament, brilliant week. 5 games, 5 wins for India, Dan. It's difficult to argue with them getting that gold medal.
Yeah, when Gangava Nilapa in their side as well. She's had a wonderful tournament, hasn't she? And her fielding today was superb. Great to see the sides there embracing each other. And really the winner here is cricket. Really is. It's been some really good wholehearted performances out there. I thought Courtney Webbeck for Australia was very good as well. Chanikan Bakau, she threw herself into the competition. Courtney Lewis was good as well. But really, India had too much class. And we're going to see Varsha, the Indian skipper, lift the trophy. We're going to go and do the presentation. We'll leave you just in silence for a little bit. You can just watch the scenes out there from Edgbaston, soak in the atmosphere. I'm sure the Indian fans will keep you entertained with their horns, their noise, and you can't hear yourself think here at Edgbaston. What an atmosphere. We're off to do the presentation. We'll see you soon.